Could you show us how it looks to steal a car?
I can show you inside your car.
The city of San Diego is suing 2 automakers for not adding standard anti-theft technology to their vehicles.
Social media started it. TikTok hack videos showing how to hotwire Kias and Hyundais using just a USB cable.
The new nationwide trend of people stealing specific types of vehicles.
Other cities are joining Seattle in suing Hyundai and Kia for a surge in car thefts.
I think it's a pretty well-known fact that my love for Kia and Hyundai is critical at best. And I would say that I'm trying to open up my mind. I'm trying to broaden my horizon on the brand. I'm trying to make it better. You know, they got the Kona N. Not allergic, I swear. They have the Elantra N. They're doing stuff and they're getting stolen everywhere. I'm AlexMartini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and today we're talking about how people will sue, the cities are going to sue Hyundai and Kia because their cars are too easy to steal. This has been something that's been going on for a little bit. Okay, Donut even did a video where they stole their own car using a USB cable, but now it's been like 7 months and Hyundai and Kia still have not solved this problem. So another problem that I'm trying to solve is why you're not subscribed. I'll wait. It'd mean a lot, seriously. Also, drop a comment below on your thoughts on the situation. Please watch the whole video because that helps me out a ton. Now, 9 months ago is when this first started coming along, where we had news people and boomers talking about how TikTok was the problem and that's why it should be banned because it's inciting people to steal cars. But what happened is over the past 7 or 8 months, we would have expected Hyundai or Kia to like fix the problem in some way, shape, or form. Except it's not really doing a very good job. So much so that on May 3rd, it was announced that Rochester, New York plans to sue both Kia and Hyundai for failure to adhere to industry standards for anti-theft features in their cars. Apparently, all you really need to do to steal one of these cars is have a USB cable and mimic the responder that would be in a fob. And because there's no sort of anti-theft within the actual like technology, anybody can jump into them. And there are this group known as the Kia Boyz. Not exactly a cool name in my opinion, but hey, you know, when you're out there causing a 152% increase in car theft since the beginning of January, you can call yourself whatever the hell you want. Now, the hottest cars to steal in the city so far are Hyundais and Kias. It has not stopped. Apparently this group, the Kia Boyz, started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, which is This group of people have established step-by-step guide for removing the steering column cover, learning how to actually jack these cars, and then apparently they go do hood rat.
Did you guys go to school or you just skip school and steal cars all day?
I go to school for sure. I need my education.
And if that doesn't make it any better, according to the Kia Boyz, at least 60% of the kids stealing these cars carry a gun while committing crime.
What percentage of Kia Boys stay strapped when they ride around town?
I ain't gonna lie, at least 60%, 60-70% always got guns.
Tommy G asked him if he gets nervous at all before boosting cars, and he said not at all. Him and other Kia Boyz don't get scared of getting arrested and going to jail. And who can blame them? This is kind of like a weird situation. One, because there's like 2 ways to look at this. Number one is from the manufacturer perspective. Hyundai and Kia have always had a really hard time in terms of making cars that, how do I say this? The best part about Hyundai and Kia is like the car, right? Everything around the business, they try to do their best, but they don't really do a very good job. And if you didn't know, Hyundai has a really weird history in terms of how their car, like how their company is actually managed. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that it's a little bit iffy, a little bit concerning from Hyundai as a brand. Their cars aren't the worst thing in the world. They've never claimed to be anything else besides entry-level, pretty decent cars. But then you have this like other side of it, where it's like the problems exist in how they run their business. You have all these other brands, you have GM, you have Chrysler, you have Fiat, you have all these people constantly getting berated for fines, penalties, lawsuits, illegal activities, and they get in front of it because they have to. The only brand that does not seem to ever do this is the italicized Honda. I don't know what to tell you about that, but for some reason they just try to ignore it and pray that it goes away. Now, there's other cities that are already filing suits. San Diego, Buffalo, Cleveland, Seattle, St. Louis, Milwaukee, and Cincinnati. Am I sick? I'm not sure, to be honest. All right, theft on Kia and Hyundais in Rochester alone, Rochester, New York, has increased 2,400%. Cities are finding Hyundai and Kia because these cities have to pay for all the times that these cars are getting jacked. Insurance companies are no longer even insuring Hyundais and Kias in these areas because they know that they're gonna get stolen. And the answer from Hyundai and Kia is, look, we made the front end of the Elantra N cool again. I'm literally gonna type in Hyundai response to car thefts. Oh, Hyundai and Kia have developed theft deterrent software for millions of their vehicles that lack an immobilizer and will provide it free of charge to vehicle owners. And just to give you a reference, this affects over 4 million Hyundais. Here's my problem with this sort of stuff. Here's the real issue that I have. We already have a problem as car enthusiasts trying to get cars that aren't marked up to the goddamn moon. We already have a tough time getting sports cars that are fun to drive and modify and not get ransacked by people that want to give us tickets, fines for even touching or changing anything that has to do with it. It's already hard enough to drive a vehicle down the road, to modify it, to have fun with it. It's already impossible enough. So why does this matter for people? That's a really good question, because honestly, if you're just modifying a car, it doesn't really appeal to you. But what I can say is when you have cities and states suing car companies because they need to recoup the cost of what it takes to actually find the car and get it back, usually they're destroyed, usually they're absolutely manhandled, usually they're vandalized by the time they get the car back, you know there's a problem with the car manufacturer. There's something going on. Now this is with cars from like 2011 to 2015, sure, but you have to ask yourself, if they weren't doing this like 6, 7, 8 years ago, what makes you think until they got caught a year ago that the cars coming out right now are any better? Like, a lot of these guys are getting in trouble after the fact, after their pants are already like down at their ankles. And that's the shit that just bugs me. Cause it's like, you're spending a chunk of change on these brands to give you a car that you think is going to be a good car. And there's no repercussions for when these car manufacturers get absolutely slammed. Now sure, they get fines or they get in trouble with the government, but you know Hyundai doesn't give a shit. You know that they probably did this and knew about it back in 2011 to 2015. And it's like, people should get mad when car companies are f***ing you, okay? You wanna know why? Because dealerships are f***ing you. And the regulations in the world, they're screwing you over too. And everyone in between is trying to make the consumer the idiot. They're always trying to make people like you and people like me the problem with everything. And it's like, you know what? No, there needs to be more accountability up the goddamn chain. Make your cars with an anti-theft that actually works, all right? Stop lying to the consumer. Stop lying to people like me and then hoping that it just like blows over and nobody catches it. Because the biggest thing that Hyundai and Kia ever did that actually upset me was when they ruined people's credit because they forgot to mark payments on leased cars. And now cars are getting stolen by the very same company, and their solution is to say, we will give you a breaker bar for free and we'll update your anti-theft eventually. Why not just build a car that has that shit? Why not just make that a normal thing? Why can't we just have cars that are built like right from the get-go? Why is this such a hard thing? You guys will have to let me know what you think about this situation. I thought it was kind of funny, mostly because the Kia Boys don't give a fuck if they get caught, because none of them are getting caught anyway. But don't forget to subscribe, drop your comments below. I'm Alex, AlexMartini with 2 underscores on Instagram, and we will see you later. Adios. Hey!